let's get our first guest out here. It is from the files of About Time. She co-hosts a little great podcast called Ask a Jew, and we will do just that. She's secular Israeli, and she and her co-host, a Hasidic Jew friend named Shiloh Lee, talk about everything from the Torah to the Tinder. You can find out. It's on Paloma Media. We have a couple people from that on here as well. She just got a green card. She currently works as a media consultant for crisis and law enforcement and used to be your Twitter for your NYPD. So you have looked at her work many a time while you were scared to go someplace.
You might be familiar with my work.
Yael, thank you so much for finally joining us. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. I'm incredibly nervous.
Why? Did you just see the last 10 minutes?
Well, that's why I'm nervous.
I would be way more nervous to tweet for the NYPD. It's like, God, can I be funny?
You might remember some of my work. Please avoid Broadway and 40th Street due to congestion.
Wow.
You got an award for that, didn't you? You're nominated.
How many weird DMs would you get?
Oh, yeah.
Not a lot. Sometimes we would get DMs from celebrities, and I would feel like, I'm like, oh my God, they want to talk to me. I'm like, no, Yael, they don't want to talk to you. They want to talk to the police.
They're like, can I file a claim? I'm a celebrity. I don't have to walk into a precinct, right?
What would they say?
I don't want to blow up their spots, but
you don't have to say their names. But what would be the kind of questions?
Sometimes they'd be like, "Hey, what's going on in my neighborhood?" And things like that.
They're so stupid, these celebrities.
Well, no, they're not, because we answered them, so it clearly worked.
Right,
because I was like, "Oh my God, somebody who was like on SNL in 1994."
Who do we think?
Oh, I just
doesn't
made that
know
up.
what to do.
Okay.
There's a more recent SNL cast member.
Sarah Jessica Parker complaining about a pothole. That's what it was, wasn't it?
She on Twitter?
Probably not.
I don't think she's on Twitter, but she has an Instagram following.
There it is.
Also, she is like a real New Yorker. I don't think she would complain about a pothole. She'd be like, this majestic hole is such a part of the city. I will eat lunch in this hole.
Also, when is the last time she was driving?
Fair. Oops, my high heel got stuck in this pothole.
Am I allowed to have my
watching
coffee?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't put it in here,
Have you
though,
been
'cause-
watching the Sex and the City reboot?
I have been. I'm not caught up, so don't tell me what happens, but I have been
I
watching.
think Mr. Big's been canceled, I can tell you that much.
I have not.
Yes. But did someone posted a meme, which is how I get all my news now, and apparently the premiere of The Golden Girls, the actresses were the same age as the actresses currently in And Just Like That, the Sex and the City women. When you see the side by side, it's these women in silk scarves and a permed updo, and then you have the older ladies whoring about. And
Sexually empowering about.
Same plot line, really.
I think actually yes. Well, what was the
Different
one name
clothes.
who was a slut on Golden Girls?
Blanche.
Blanche.
I think that,
Blanche really paved the way for these Sex and
She
the
was a
City ladies.
Samantha of Boca. I don't know
As
where
we've
they
already
were.
discussed, fun fact, Betty White was supposed to do that role. Said she had already done something sexually empowered on Mary Tyler Moore and wanted the Rose role.
Aw.
There you go.
Can't wait till I can start picking the roles I want.
I knew it was going to come back to you. You could pull off an old lady very well, though. You have very old lady sensibilities.
Thank you.
Well, we should do two of our religious stories. We have not one.
Because a Jewish person is here?
No, because you're the co-host of Ask a Jew.
Oh, yeah,
So
right,
you're
right.
kind of owning it. And so let's go to our graphics. I'll let you do. You got yours first. Yours is pretty good. It's basically just Joanne looking what she was supposed to be, an annoyed nun.
NoSuchinsky. It's a play on my last
Is
name.
it but there's so many different puns going on with NoSuchinsky that I don't even know where to begin. Well, while we wait to cue it up, you can give us, here we go.
Are you ready for a miracle? Raise my baby. Are you ready for a miracle? Set you free. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
That's what Joanne looked like after she stopped peeling in my sunburn dream.
Not a chemical peel, and look at me now. Okay, so the Pope. I know, not big in the Jewish community, but the Pope criticizes couples who adopt pets instead of children, calling it a form of selfishness. That's right. Last Wednesday, Pope Francis branded couples who adopt pets instead of children as selfish as part of a call to resolve the demographic winter that the West faces. I like to imagine that's kind of like, oh God, what was that show that everyone was watching where dragons were being breastfed?
The one show I didn't
Game of
watch,
Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Demographic winter sounds like a Game of Thrones season. The Pope addressed a general audience on the topic of parenthood and called on people to have more children as the West faces a declining population.
Fuck off. No more
We see
kids.
a form of selfishness, the Pope said. We see that some people do not want to have a child. Sometimes they have one and that's it. But they have
Says the
dogs
celibate.
and cats.
Says the celibate.
Place of children. He urged any couple that can have children to instead adopt, pointing to Joseph, the foster father of Jesus, who was a Jew, as an example of the highest forms of love that people can attain. It is a risk. Yes, having a child is always a risk, either naturally or by adoption, the Pope explained. But it is riskier not to have them. It is riskier to deny
fuck
fatherhood
you.
or to deny motherhood.
Go to hell.
Real or spiritual.
No more people.
But denial, a man or a woman who do not develop the sense of fatherhood or motherhood, they are lacking something foundational, something important.
Go to, you don't,
Just for you people, just for Catholics.
I think the subtext here is we need more Catholics. We need more Catholics.
See, I don't have children, nor do I have pets, and I think that is the real selfless
Good for her.
to do.
Of course it is.
Is this really big in the Jewish faith? The idea of being called to be a parent, does that exist? I know there
Yes.
guilt is big.
It is a mitzvah to get it on. Like literally, it's in the Bible, and this is coming from somebody who knows nothing about Judaism.
Okay.
So everything I know, I learned from my co-host, who's a Hasidic Jew, and she's the one with like 17 children, or I don't know how many.
Well, I thought there was a difference between Orthodox and Hasidic. Is
There
not?
might be.
Yeah, I'm
might
not. I'm
have
still
to
not
get
aware.
back to you on
Yeah.
that. Which shows how much I know. But, she's the one who can't answer her phone on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yes. Wow. And I wanted to, and like it's very interesting because the thing I love about your show too is it is not like there's so much aspects of that I was not aware of.
Me too.
A lot of mulligans too, like the Amish have. Like, every once in a while you see an Amish person with a cell phone, you're like, wait, hold on.
Workarounds. But I grew up in Israel, and we don't know, in Israel it's like, well, we're already here. We don't really have to do anything else, right?
Yeah.
So we never went to like synagogue. We never did anything like really religious. And
We're just existing here.
we're on the land. Like,
Culturally
leave us
Jewish
alone.
is
We
it here?
speak the language. And then when I met Chayalea, she taught me all the did you know there's like a myth that if you have a tattoo, you're not allowed to be buried? I thought that was real.
Yeah.
It's
and
not
that's
real.
a myth.
She's like, that's a myth.
That's not, completely thought that was real. I
Right?
remember that episode. I was blown away. Yeah.
Yeah,
Although, in fairness, she could tell someone like you or me that, and it could be a total lie, and we'd still buy it.
She might be listening to our show in her community just to like make fun of people like us. Like it might be like a prank.
We didn't know. That makes
We
total
have
sense.
we have a segment called "People We Thought Were Jewish," and we had Bill on.
Yeah, they thought.
I thought you were Jewish.
I mean, look
a
at
little
him.
bit. I'm a little bit, 10%, but I don't know. It keeps going down every time I do the DNA test. unfortunately. Well, as we talked about, Ashkenazi Jews fucked a lot. Everyone I know has got a little Ashkenazi in them.
And only, but mostly each other within the family.
Okay.
Which is why-
Sounds like a deviant.
Which is why people like me are, like 100% Ashkenazi Jewish. And it's a miracle that I'm like functioning. Like my DNA made it this far.
Yeah, well, no, they did well for themselves, man. Absolutely. But she was raised Catholic as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yes.
looks more
And,
at...
So this is your problem.
Well, and I was always taught that, your pets don't go to heaven because they don't have souls. So I was like, kids, pets, what, who cares about either of them?
Well, no, kids have souls, though. So you didn't hear that correctly.
What
Yes.
if you have a kid? What if you have one kid and it's really shitty?
Oh, yes,
Are you supposed
exactly.
to have more?
I don't know though. Even the person with the shitty kid thinks their kid isn't shitty.
I don't know. I
lying to
think
themselves.
I think some of them
Lying.
know.
But I think the thing that the Pope is overlooking here is that a lot of couples get a pet as a starter. It's like a
Sure.
starter home for a kid. It's this idea of let's see if we could take care of this thing together. And then they're like, oh no, this pet is tearing us apart. How do we save this relationship? Let's have a kid. So I think that actually
They put the pet down.
we need more pets. So people are like, oh, my life sucks. Let me have kids.
I think we need more pets to convince people definitely don't have kids. Don't have the kids. You can't clean up after your own fucking mud of a dog. You're not going to be doing so hot with the kid.
Why is a declining population so bad?
Thank you.
I thought
Great
the
thing.
earth was heating up and there's pollution everywhere. There's no more jobs. Wouldn't a smaller population be better?
Isn't like
for
a
the world?
sports
1,000 times
team? Like,
yes.
don't you want a lot of people on your team just in case?
That's the way the
There's
Pope's
so many
looking at
people
it.
sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
There's so many people who aren't doing anything.
Yes. Well, the other thing, too, is like the one argument that isn't necessarily religious in basis is that we're going to have the over-under with regards to way too many old people versus young people is the population is set up. Well, all of our things are set up so that it will be almost impossible to take care of a mostly old population. You see this in Japan now.
We need euthanasia to
You're speaking a lot of truth today.
No, but really,
I agree.
a lot of old people don't want to be
They
taken
don't want to be
care
here.
of.
They don't want to be here.
You know, they're like, I don't want to be a burden
My time is over.
to young
Exactly.
people, or I'm in awful pain from whatever disease I have. Let me go with dignity.
I absolutely agree. And I will see you that and raise you this. There are some people, while in seemingly good health, kind of, are just kind of done. You know, and the reason I look at this is because up until very recently, and I believe this to be only my theory, but I think there's something to it. Up until very recently, we died at 50. We died around 45, 50. That was our median age until really the 20th century.
They put us in like the forest and said, like, you go die now.
Yes, exactly. And now we are wired to think that that's when we're going. Even now, even though now physically we can handle another 50 years, as far as our physiological makeup is concerned, we don't necessarily want to do that.
Also, why were we so sad
don't want to do
when
that.
Betty White died at 99?
I know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
You all should be like relieved, like, finally she can take a long nap.
But this is why I'm so happy that I decided to have nieces and nephews.
Yes.
Because they can take care of me when I'm old. And I told them since they were like very small.
Yeah, I'm going to do that with my aunt, but my problem is, because she didn't get married, but the problem is, like, I am not financially capable of doing that for my aunt. So there could be nephews and nieces like that.
But she needs to be financially capable in order to incentivize you to take care of her.
She might be that.
That's how I'm planning to
I
do
like
that with my nieces
Yeah.
and nephews.
My mother always said, Joanne, don't take care of me. Just get me good help. Just
Good mom.
hire good help.
That's
Smart
a good
woman.
mom. Also, she's assuming that you're going to be alone. I think that's why she's saying that.
Really?
Yeah.
But also some of
Want you
these
to live your life.
old folks home are like Club Med. Like my great uncle was in one, and I was like, I want to move in here.
Oh yeah,
Like
man.
activities. There's like yoga and
STDs.
they're all like hooking up.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
it's
The
amazing.
Villages is Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
In Florida. Yeah.
Speaking of an older gentleman who's riddled with deceit.
Nicely done.
I feel bad, Dan.
He very much could be living with Omicron rather than dying with it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, one of our old favorites is back, Mr. Dan Bova. He is the editorial director of Entrepreneur.com, host of
Dan.
Get a Real Job podcast, and you got all of his incidentals here. Look at him upset. Well, now, we had just gotten an email from Dan right before the show. Sounds to me like you got some bad symptoms going on right now, buddy. What's going on?
I do. I'm in a good window right now where I don't sound like I have the world shoved up my nose. It like kind of unclogs and clogs. So things might start dripping out of me, out of my ears, out of my eyes. I might start coughing. I might die and make Joanne the happiest woman on earth.
Oh, one less person. One less person.
Yeah. Just to go back to what you were talking about a minute ago, Joanne, you're glad that Betty White finally died?
Yes.
Like it was something you were waiting. And
I just
hoping
tweeted that.
for,
Is
and
that
then
okay?
It finally happened.
You know what? It's like when someone's running a marathon. You just want them to finish. They want to finish too. Get to that finish line.
Well, now, so how are you doing, man? I like the little that you mentioned. I'm like, it doesn't sound good. I know you're gonna do a test a little later. How we doing?
Yeah. So I'll check back in tomorrow and let you know how it went. But yeah, I'm gonna go to one of those drive-through things, get a Q-tip stuck up my nose, hopefully by a medical professional. Who knows? Sometimes you just pull up to someone and they cram some up your nose, and you just okay.
Yeah, I've been made that mistake. Well, now and it's like there's the lethargy.
And then they ask you to pay them. It's weird. But, sorry, go ahead.
The Q-tip invariably is attached to them. It gets into this weird area. Well, now do you got the lethargy? That was a big thing with me. Just in the muscle cramps. Yeah, I can't pronounce it. Lethargy.
Lethargy?
Were you tired?
Wow. College grad.
I used to say hyperbole instead of hyperbole. Yeah.
I've just got, it's like a daily change. Was some coughing, then some stuffiness, then some achiness, then some this, some that. I mean, I am, as Joanne noted, extremely old. So this could just be.
No, I said an
Monday.
older gentleman. Gentleman made it kind.
I love older gentlemen. It's like my demographic.
Yeah.
Daughtery but polite. Oh man. Well, absolutely keep us updated. We've certainly had some people on this show that weren't aware that they'd been affected. Well, all over us. But this is the first time we've had someone on there that could be very much aware.
Decided to stay home, so thanks.
Yes, exactly. Very kind of you on that side as well. Well, I teased this at the beginning via a wonderful David Spade skit featuring our own Lauren Sivan and a fart machine. And this is a story that I'll let you do it since this is a little more your wheelhouse. We've been following this like other people follow things that should be followed.
Down date. 90-day fiancé star retires from selling farts after heart attack scare. She had a fart attack.
Thanks, New York Post.
Oh, boy. Okay, so a reality TV star who launched a gassy venture peddling her fancy flatulence to strangers, Stephanie Matto, 31, that's why she's getting old, blew away people on social media when she recently announced that she makes more than $50,000 a week selling farts.
A week.
So basically, after making...
That's incredible.
It's fucking, I don't have a fart attack every week if it's that much money.
After making $200,000 in sales, the influencer has announced her retirement when she passed one too many and got the wind knocked out of her.
Post.
She was rushed to a hospital with chest pains she feared were symptoms of a heart attack. After undergoing a battery of tests, including blood work and an EKG, she was told that her pain was the result of her steady diet of gas-inducing beans and eggs. The self-proclaimed fartrepreneur. Now, Dan, you need to write this down as an entrepreneur with Entrepreneur Magazine. Fartrepreneur is now a word. She squeezed out up to 50 jars worth of farts a week to keep up with demand and even added protein shakes to her diet to make them more pungent, blah, blah, blah. But what is she going to do, guys? What is she going to do? Oh, is it even in here?
What?
Did you see? There's a new headline. She's selling them as NFTs. She is now, swear to God, I think it was Nancy Rommelman who tweeted the update to this down date. Apparently, she's going to sell them as NFTs.
Oh, man. Well, Bova, this is exactly what you report on. I mean...
I'm nervous about making you laugh. I feel like you're going to choke to death or something.
I'd be more comfortable if he wore his mask.
I'm just looking at things that I maybe can contain things in to see if that would, that's not going to work.
You could sell COVID, coughing them. Yeah.
So I'm a little confused about a lot of things, but So the farting too much gave her a heart attack? Like,
That's what I don't.
I don't understand that connection there.
So it appears it wasn't a heart attack, but probably more like gas pains.
Yeah, if you ever had heartburn, it just feels like chest pain. So it's just a clever article, I guess.
I have. The fact that she's retiring now means that, all right, just one more for a couple or 3 loyal fans, but I'm going to have to triple the asking price.
Sure, supply demand.
She's putting herself at risk.
How much do these jars cost? Like, how much was she making per jar?
I mean, if she's doing 50 a week and she's making 50,000 a week, they're a grand each.
Yeah.
Can she outsource them? Do you think? Can she have?
I mean, honestly, that sounds like a bargain.
I don't. All right, I don't understand the physics involved. I don't know what physics are, but what are they getting for this? Because, like, I don't think. I mean, this sounds like magical thinking here. I don't think a fart just stays in a jar.
Oh, remember,
and ready to be opened and smelled.
We did show video, and she puts rose petals in there.
Yeah, which takes
to
away.
contain the smell. I think it's just like a fake flower petal
Okay.
that contains the smell, and then she does a handwritten note. And I hate that I know so much about this.
Yeah, sounds almost like you're a client.
Bill, you never used to do that in the elevator with the rose petals. You would just sort of like let it go and then jump off the elevator and leave people in there. And then they'd have to explain to the next person who got on, it wasn't me, it was this guy Bill who just got off.
Yeah, that's
could have made some money with that.
Look, we all need hobbies, and I'd like to push them in as they were trying to come out with me. Well, I gotta say, I should have charged. That was my big mistake. My only payment was the pleasure.
You did it for the love. You did it for the love.
I do want to go to, though, our fart expert, Steve. Steve, have you ever suffered a fart attack? Like, did you think you were dying?
No, but I am both perplexed and excited about this story because I can sell my farts. Like, more and more, this is becoming something that I'm interested in because I already got an offer on Twitter for some farts.
But I would be curious about the market. Male farts versus female farts. I do think female farts are probably going to go for more.
I think I'm going to get a fucking fraction of what that lady got.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm in. I don't give a shit. I'll have a heart attack. I want to know if she used Gas X because I accidentally took Gas X once. Well, not accidentally. I thought Gas X made you not fart, but apparently it like pushes farts out of you.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was trying not to fart, and for a whole fucking like 3 hours, I was ripping ass while I was working out. My girlfriend said that she heard me in the other room because like the whole thing, I was taking Gas X at the beginning of our relationship because I already farted a lot. Wanted to not do that.
That's amazing.
Didn't read the box at all. I just was like, oh, Gas X, it'll make you stop farting. So I take it like right before I go to bed, wake up the next morning to work out, and I'm just farting for like minutes straight. Just like, and I'm like going, oh my God, what the fuck? Jesus Christ. And she said she heard all of it.
Oh, man.
And she was just crying, laughing in bed.
Did you take Gas 10X? Are you sure that it wasn't the wrong...
Yeah. No, that was it. Gas 10X.
Well, a running theme on our show, particularly with a lot of the female comics we have in, is that they'll be on these OnlyFans and stuff like that, right? And they make a mint. And especially like during the pandemic when there was no stand-up going on, things like that. And there is a stigma that I think is on this stuff that is no longer there. And so this is even, I would assume, less judgmental than that, or maybe more. I don't know.
This story was sold to me when I was told to come on the show as a story about immigration. I said, Yael, come. We're going to talk about 90 Day Fiance. It's like, oh, okay.
I think I did say that.
So I read up on, immigration law before I came just to be prepared. And
I did not even know 90 Day Fiance was about that.
Yes.
Green cards and stuff like
Yes,
that. I thought it was just about you have 90 days to find a fiance. Like, that's all I thought it was. So where is she from? Canada?
I think she's American.
Okay.
I think the fiance, because I did read up about this, I think the fiance was a woman in Australia, but then they both realized they're actually not gay.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Or she just realized she couldn't stand the apartment smell.
Yeah.
Like, I can't, no matter how long the green card takes, I can't do this.
But it's actually a wonderful
Yeah.
show. There's a lot of like mail order brides and grooms.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, then, go ahead.
If we could get back to the farts in the jars.
Thank you. Thank you.
When I'm, I mean, you could talk about immigration or whatever friffle fluffle you want to talk about, but I'm just imagining. So you spent $1,000 on this jar, so now you have it. So, I mean, it's a fleeting investment, you know.
Right.
Like you pop the top and that's it.
Like a bottle of
like,
champagne.
what's that special moment that you wait for?
Well, yeah,
Good question.
I think it's about the experience, right? Like you're not buying a product, you're buying an experience. So maybe you draw yourself a bath and you pour yourself a glass of wine and you sit back and instead of smelling salts, you open up a jar of farts.
I think more something you
So
put
now
on, the
I'm
mantle on
imagine-
the fireplace.
Oh, okay.
When company
Yeah.
comes over, so it's like an old
Yeah.
bottle of wine. Like we're not going to drink it, but just so you know, I have enough money to buy this.
Yes.
That's it.
And you definitely don't keep it in the kitchen because I'm just imagining someone like made some sauce and it's like, oh, there's extra. Let's put it in the jar. No, not that jar. And then it's like, oh my God, $1,000 down the tubes.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I have a feeling, knock on wood, we might have some more updates. Or down dates, I should say. I have this tale as old as time is also a never-ending story. And I have a feeling there'll be more 90-day fiancés. But wait for this as far as segues go. From fiancés to possible dates. A little wordy, but come on, it works.
No.
It won't give me any.
No.
All right, fuck you all.
Put that in a jar and
I'm
sell it for
about to put-
$1,000.
How about this? I'm about to put the bill in billboards. I don't know. I'm a Boston mom.
Boo-hoo.
I like it. I'm a Boston mom. Is there any other kind? Beth Davis is looking for a date for a daughter she describes as, quote, easygoing. All right, now we're talking. So easygoing that she's okay with appearing on a Date My Daughter billboard in Times Square. Dating app Wingman arranged for the billboard, which has a link to the dating profile Beth set up for her 30-year-old Molly. The 61-year-old mother says that she has been diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer. This is the sad part. And has spread to her bones. Jesus. She says she hopes to be around for at least another 2 years. And while she has a happily married son, she dreams of seeing Molly settled as well. Her mother says that they saw the 47-foot by 25-foot billboard for themselves over the weekend. Both started laughing. She says other mothers have told her their daughters would kill them if they did this, you think. But Molly is much more relaxed. I don't think they showed a picture of the actual billboard on
I can't believe these people aren't Jewish.
That's the thing that made me think of Jewish mothers
Yeah.
on this.
Well, she said she's easygoing, so
Yeah, Beth is, quote, focused with love and attention for her daughter, and so I wanted to help her accelerate a search
Oh,
for
she's
someone
cute.
great. All right, there it is. Oh, she's super cute.
well, also these billboards are like $40 now, right?
Is that really?
Well, I don't know because there's like nobody
There's
in.
nobody in New York, and there's...
There's so many billboards. It's like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
giant screen now.
Well, here's where the problem comes in. It doesn't necessarily sound like she's open-minded about who she dates. She's hoping to with someone of the essence of Chris Hemsworth or Ryan Reynolds. Narrows it down right there. She says that she's hoping the right person will be confident enough to be dissuaded by the unorthodox. Well, Bova, good move or great move?
Yeah, it's just, thumbs up all around. It's a very sad story as you read that part about her having this horrible disease. So I hesitate to make fun of any aspect of this, and I'll just say, I think Bill, you're available, right?
I've been told I have the essence of both a Ryan Reynolds and a Chris Hemsworth. So I think...
and a fart jar. So I think you're... you got essence coming out of every pore. So, bring it on.
Well, let me ask you this, and this would apply if it was a female or a male, but I don't see gender. What would we have misgivings of knowing that were we to date someone, we're also dating them possible in-law like this, or is that a
Well,
good
not for
kind of
long.
in-law?
Yeah, she's gonna be
Yeah,
dead.
there's that. There's that.
So, like, God, what pressure to put on your daughter? I'm gonna be dead in 2 years. So, can you get married? No, I'll start it. Oh, look, he's like, oh God, that's
It's pretty depressing.
Yeah.
Maybe Chris Hemsworth can like pretend date her for,
okay.
it
No,
sounds like
that's
a
a
romantic
Lifetime
comedy.
movie I
Yeah.
would watch. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he is also already married, but I'm sure they could figure something out. And the thing of it is like the stuff that you always want to know is never actually in here. I want to know how, again, to your point, I want to know how cheap, or maybe not cheap, it is to do this.
This is not just an ad to date the daughter, but it's an ad for this wingman
Right.
site or-
Yeah, so they had a little help with that. What, if anything,
Brilliant
like,
PR.
I mean, have you seen anything like this recently with regards to the world of entrepreneur.com, Bova? I mean, are these things, I think you're always going to find someone like this relatively sad story where this could be someone selling, the other person buying, billboard, but I don't see this as like an overall lucrative business here, getting moms to help their daughters date via gigantic billboard.
I would imagine that wasn't. They weren't looking to make a killing off of that, and I immediately regret that word choice given
Nice.
this woman's story. But
You're a horrible human being.
what I would wonder is, I'm going to put this question back to you guys. Have you all been set? I've never been set up in any way, shape, or form by my parents.
No.
Have you?
God, no. Well,
There have been attempts.
I was going to say the stereotype of a Jewish mom is that they are always setting up. Is that, I would assume, accurate a little bit? Yeah.
And there's always like, we know this guy, he's perfect for you because he's also single.
Right. Yeah, that. To the point that is so true. And it's like also like, with gay friends, you'll do a setup thing. And I mean, I used to do that a little bit. If I had a gay friend that was like always bitching and moaning about being single, and they would always be offended because it's like, just because this person's gay and single doesn't mean we have anything in common, want to date at all. It's just like you're saying, oh, you're both gay. So
Except they all want to bang each other anyway. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can still fuck. That would be always my point. But how
So when
about you?
your mother would phrase that to you, would it be like, "Hey, here's someone else who's unworthy of love. Maybe you have something in common." Like, how did she phrase it?
yeah, pretty much. I know his parents. I don't hate them. So you should probably get married.
Sold. Well, how about you, Joe?
Yeah, no, I mean, we've all been learning my relationship with my parents and my mother
Problematic.
over the years. No, it's just my mother would even say like she wouldn't really even care to meet my boyfriends so much just because she didn't want to get attached. So, no, my parents never set me up. My older sister would never set me up because she didn't care to like see me happy.
I think the theme
This
here
is sadder than the cancer billboard story.
Yeah, the theme here is that your family just could give a shit about you. I think has always been the over-under theme.
Which is a
Yeah.
great way to get into a relationship. Because then you can just transfer all that into
Oh, yeah.
Sure. But also, I think it was because my family knew I didn't have any problem getting a date. Why
it is.
aren't we asking the real question? Why is this 30-year-old woman still single? What's wrong
are
with
still
her?
single. A lot of people are still single this day and age. No one's getting married anymore. Come on. Look at how pleased she is with herself. Just as long as I can transfer pain
I think she's
out of this single girl. Well, we went a little over, so I'll go a little over. I got another one here that it's a talker, guys. Maitland Ward, who we've discussed an odd amount about, and she's Boy Meets. Well, here it is.
It's my favorite porn star from Maryland who used to be on a TV show.
Good memory. Maitland Ward would like a word with Billie Eilish's parents. I never pronounced that correctly. Blaming the adults in the house for the sinner's adult sex life being ruined by watching porn as a kid. We got the former, and I mean TMZ, got the former Boy Meets World star turned porn star in Beverly Hills and asked about Billie's bad experience with violent porn, which she says that she started watching when she was only 11. Maitland says the real issue here isn't pornography. The problem, she says, is Billie's parents for not staying on top of what their daughter is watching. Who has the time? I think we have a little of her here. Well, I didn't time it out, so you can just... Boy, it's like
Billie
Law and Order with
Eilish
15.
started watching
She's a
porn at
cutie.
11, and now she's saying porn is a disgrace, and that she's angry porn is loved. She thinks that porn has destroyed her brain.
Okay. Well, first of all, the problem with that is why was she watching like violent porn at age 11? Who
Yeah.
was watching over her? Like, does she
Yeah.
have parental figures in her life?
I mean, she's blaming the porn industry. Should she be blaming her parents?
She should be blaming her parents. That's abuse. A child should not be watching porn ever at that age, and especially she said she was watching like some I heard like abusive porn.
Yeah,
or, like,
abusive
really violent.
porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Is there any other
and
kind
porn
either?
isn't something that is supposed to be sex education for people.
Right.
Like, it's entertainment for adults, and that's what we do. It's like saying, oh, Spider-Man told me I could climb the whole building. I'd be like, I fell. It's his fault. It's abusive. I broke my bones.
It's a great
It's like,
analogy, actually.
it's crazy.
That's
and also,
very
I think
good.
she's too young
I love her.
to make that kind of assessment
That is
about
really good.
porn and sex.
I mean,
She's very smart.
She just turned 20. I mean,
Yeah.
when should you start watching porn?
Well, 20, that's good.
20 is a good age to start watching
Yeah,
porn.
right.
Or
I mean,
never.
I mean, I can't say I didn't take a peek when I was 16 or 17, but I mean, to watch it like completely, that's not right. And 11, that's completely wrong.
Billy
Yeah.
says
And
her
her
introduction to
parents
porn
think
caused her
that
to
whoever
have
was
bad
her caretaker,
experiences
I
when
don't
she
know.
first started having sex. I want to know the specifics of exactly what she's talking about. But now calls porn a, quote, disgrace. Maitland, of course, begs to differ. Now, Bova, the one thing here is, like, I see her point, and she made a great point here. But the problem is, obviously, is that it's very difficult for parents to monitor anything anymore. You're about to die, and you have kids. What are your thoughts here?
I just hope that this is my send off to the world, and but the last thing I'm remembered for are my thoughts on pornography.
Not from COVID, from
my-
old age.
Yeah.
Not from COVID. Yeah. From old age. Well, your point is correct, Bill, in that, I mean, a while ago, it was pretty hard to monitor what someone's watching, but now there's like 7,000 platforms. Like, you can't even like look at a YouTube history or, whatever. It could be on a million different platforms that you've never even heard of. So it's kind of impossible to monitor. And I don't know about that Spider-Man analogy. I'm not sure what heroics or what things are shooting out of things in the pornography that you're watching. I think I want to wash my hands of this. I think I want to take a long hot shower and forget this conversation.
Can we get back to immigration?
Well, yeah, sure.
Which is why I think
Spider-Man is from Queens. It's a very gentrified area. So, well, I think, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, is there a right? There's a wrong? Nothing.
on the porn star saying that Billie
Yes.
Eilish's parent, I think they should all go to jail.
Oh,
Everyone
interesting.
involved in this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. That is very...
But you have kids today. They don't. They know how to work phones and computers. Like, they can monitor what their parents are doing. Like, they can set filters for their parents.
I think it's
I
pretty
think it's
difficult.
almost impossible. Even when I was a kid, we didn't have the smartphones and everything. Like, my parents didn't know what we were doing with our friends when we were like watching TV or reading magazines.
Yeah, but it still was harder to come by, I believe. You had to earn that porn a
I
little
do
more.
Yes,
I think it's natural for children to be curious.
There's her word.
But it's the right word right now.
Yeah.
And that's why probably Billie Eilish was looking for porn or whatever. But the fact that she had stumbled upon violent or abusive porn and wasn't immediately like, oh no,
Right.
like, there's always those moments as a kid where you stumble upon something
Yeah.
in porn and
maybe
you're like,
this brought the
no, thank
angst
you.
into her music, and we should thank porn for
Wow.
who Billie Eilish is today.
Interesting. Wow.
Wow.
Well, Joe, you watch
Thank you,
borderline
porn.
illegally violent porn, and you seem okay. So, what is it? Just because you waited?
Yeah. I have a lot of feelings, and
Well, That is a good point. She said if she waits till she's 20 to watch insanely violent porn, then it's fine.
Yeah. Insanely violent. We're just doubling down. It's not just violent. Oh, no, we're talking illegal in at least half the states.
Well, she's talking about people climbing up buildings and jumping off them and this and that, so I don't know what's going on.
Man jumping off a building on top of a woman, is that violent porn?
That porn.
Yeah, exactly.
That's porn with a budget is what that is.
Stilts, yeah.
Well, they always used to say when Superman first came out during the dawn of TV that there was a big problem with kids jumping off of buildings.
Another
at the
immigrant
times.
from
Yes.
a different planet.
Exactly.
well.
Yes. Brutalized Kansas City with. Well, you guys, we are certainly dumber than we were at the beginning of this show. I'll start with the first person I blame.
Without question.
Bolo, please let me know how the test goes. But before that, give us your plugs, your promotions.
I will be featured on a long line getting a Q-tip shoved up my nose later this afternoon. So check that out in Greenwich, Connecticut. Other than that, over at theentrepreneur.com, I've got this fun little podcast called Get a Real Job that maybe Bill and Joanne will be on one day.
I would love it.
I
Now, do we have
wonder.
to have a real job?
Yeah, are you implying I should get one?
Well, I don't think you should do anything more. I think you've done enough, is what I'm getting at.
Look, the bottom line is that
but yes, I would love
to
to
watch itself. So Joe only has so much time on our hands.
And what I look forward to most is sending you an email with 5,000 stories on it and saying, we might talk about one of these, so guess which one.
You knew it was going to be fart jars. You knew it was going to be fart jars. All right? Every time we send out stories, what is it? Fart jar, fart jar, fart jar. Even if we have to make our own. What do you got, darling?
Me? I'm just still like decompressing.
Put it into a fart jar.
No.
Sell it. Decompress right on in there.
What am I selling? What am I plugging?
Yes.
You can find me on Twitter at YaelBT. I tweet about law enforcement and dogs, and sometimes law enforcement and dogs together.
Thank you. Make sure they're only bomb sniffing. I don't like those drug sniffing dogs.
And
not at all.
And listen to my podcast. It's called Ask a Jew. It's
great.
me, a very, very bad Jew, and my friend who is a very, very good Jew. She's definitely going to heaven, which I'm still not.
They don't
clear
believe in
if we
heaven.
have. Yeah.
I thought that was another thing I wanted to ask.
Yeah,
but
I'm not entirely clear, but she's very, very like a God-fearing woman, and I'm like, So
There's a lot of.
it's a good combo. It's on Paloma Media and on Apple Podcasts. We just recorded with Bill. It may or may not have recorded.
Oh, I knew it.
It was probably your fault. That's what we've all decided together.
I called it that thing might not have been recorded. I said
No,
that right there.
I think it recorded, but it might have just recorded me and her, which is fine.
That's all you need.
So
That's all you need.
I'll listen.
Especially since I'm not a Jew. I mean, why do you even need me?
Twitter and Ask a Jew on palomamedia.com.
We'll definitely check it out. You guys, I love you both. Thank you so much. Thank you, my dear, for my new best friend. And yes, I'm a narcissist because, again, we look exactly alike.
Billie Jean King.
Look at you, Billie Jean
Have that
King.
dress, too.
Well, Joe, I'm happy to have you back. And yet I still know you will ruin the show with this last segment. Ooh, and you can take off her racket like a weapon.
So I really enjoyed the mini beer shots at the pool. That's liquor 43 at the bottom. And then, so that looks like beer. And then at the top to look like the head of the beer, the foam, they do, God, what was it? They blend together some Baileys, vodka, and something else. And it's really fucking good.
That sounds